back when phones had cords, bikes had no brakes, and your mom yelled your name from the porch instead of texting, being a kid in the 1970s was a whole different universe. No helmets, no hand sanitizer, no screen time limits, just freedom, danger, and a whole lot of Kool-Aid. Here's a nostalgic ride through all the wonderfully weird things kids used to do in the 70s that you just don't see anymore. Kids drank water straight from the garden hose. It's summer, you're hot, you're sweaty, and you're definitely not going inside to get a glass of water because everyone knows that once you're in, there's a 75% chance your mom makes you stay in. So what do? You grab the hose. Sure, the first blast of water was roughly the temperature of lava because it had been sunbathing in the yard all day, but after that, crisp, slightly metallic bliss. Garden hose water was its own food group, and somehow we all survived despite it being run through pipes older than your great-aunt Mildred. Also, the technique mattered. You had to kink the hose just right with your thumb to control the flow or risk blasting your face off. And if someone turned the spigot on too fast, congratulations, you just power washed your nostrils, built ramps out of plywood and cinder blocks, and jumped over your siblings. Somehow, every kid in the 70s thought they were the next Evel Knievel. All you needed was a couple of bricks, a warped piece of plywood, and zero adult supervision. Voila, your very own death trap. You drag that ramp into the middle of the street, get a long run-up on our Schwinn Stingrays, and take off like we were jumping the Grand Canyon. In reality, it was more like 18 inches of air and a dramatic crash landing. Bonus points if your little brother was lying underneath it as the dare. No one had knee pads, no one wore a helmet, and no one sued anybody. If you broke your arm, you got a cast and signatures. It was like a badge of honor. Safety was for suckers. We had guts, scabs, and a flair for the dramatic. Made mixtapes off the radio on cassette. If you wanted music in the 1970s, you didn't stream it. You stalked it. With a blank cassette in the tape deck, finger poised on the record button, you'd sit for hours waiting for your favorite song to come on the radio. And when it did, you had to hit record and play simultaneously with the reflexes of a ninja. God help you if the DJ talked over the intro, which they always did. And here's a little one from the Eagles. No, shut up, Rick. Editing skills? Non-existent. You'd get snippets of ads, awkward fade-outs, and maybe your little brother yelling in the background. But you didn't care. That mixtape was yours. A love letter to your soul with Dream On and Dancing Queen living side by side in perfect harmony. Kids today have playlists. We had passion and a lot of rewinding. Kids got excited about the ice cream truck and actually had cash to spend. You could hear it from blocks away, that tinny, slightly creepy version of Turkey in the Straw or Pop Goes the Weasel, drifting through the hot summer air, was a siren call for every kid within a 2-mile radius. The ice cream truck is coming! We'd bolt out the door like a stampede of sweaty little lunatics, clutching whatever spare change we'd scraped together from couch cushions, junk drawers, or your dad's pants pocket. Sorry, Dad. The menu was plastered on the side of the truck like a glorious treasure map. Screwballs, bomb pops, choco tacos, drumsticks, push-ups, those weird SpongeBob ones with gumball eyes that always looked just a little off. It was chaotic, joyful, and intensely serious business. You only had $1, maybe $2, and you had to make it count. None of this tap-to-pay stuff. If you were short a dime, you had to negotiate, or go running back into the house yelling, "Mom, do you have a quarter?" Made prank calls with a rotary phone. Long before caller ID ruined the game, prank calls were a core part of being a kid. It was practically a rite of passage. You'd sit with your best friend, a list of phone numbers, and a script of ridiculous things to say. Then, with trembling fingers, you'd dial slowly, because rotary phones were not built for speed. "Hello, is your refrigerator running?" Yes." "Then you better go catch it." Click, giggle, collapse in hysterics. Sometimes you'd just breathe into the receiver like a weirdo. Sometimes you'd ask for someone totally made up. "Can I speak to Al B back?" And when you got caught, you'd deny everything. Blame your little brother. Hang up and unplug the phone just in case they called back. It was stupid, it was harmless, and it was hilarious. Until your mom answered the phone mid-prank and grounded you for a week, which honestly just gave you more time to plan your next one. Read books for fun, like actual paper books. Before screens took over every waking second, we read books, like physical ones, with pages and covers and that musty, magical smell that every library seemed to have. We read because we wanted to, because we were bored, because there was literally nothing else to do. We devoured the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, Judy Blume, Encyclopedia Brown, and Choose Your Own Adventure books like they were TikTok for our imaginations. You didn't scroll, you turned a page. You didn't like something, you reread it under the covers with a flashlight after bedtime. The school book fair? That was our version of Comic-Con. Scholastic flyers came home and we circled everything like we were building our dream library. If you had a Trapper Keeper with a secret stash of Garfield bookmarks and a copy of Super Fudge, you were living large. Wore Toughskins jeans or corduroys with iron-on patches. Toughskins, the jeans that could survive nuclear fallout. These pants, usually purchased from Sears, were made of some unholy blend of denim and industrial carpet. Stylish? Debatable? Durable? Oh, absolutely. Your knees would give out before the fabric ever did. If you did manage to wear a hole in them, usually from skidding across pavement or crawling through bramble bushes like a spy, your mom would bust out the iron-on patches, often in shapes or colors that didn't even remotely match the original jeans. Suddenly, your pants had a personality, a patchy, slightly embarrassing personality. And then there were the corduroys, those thick, ribbed pants that made a swish, swish, swish sound with every step. You couldn't sneak up on anyone, but dang, you were warm and sweaty. So sweaty. Traded stickers, wacky packages, and garbage pail kids. Long before Pokemon cards or NFTs, we had stickers, and not the digital kind. We're talking scratch and sniff, glittery, puffy, fuzzy masterpieces that lived in a Trapper Keeper or an official sticker album you treated like a holy relic. Wacky packages came before garbage pail kids and poked fun at real products, so instead of Cap'n Crunch, you had Cap'n Crud. Pure, gross-out genius. You'd trade them on the playground with the same intensity Wall Street traders have on the stock floor. I'll give you 2 slum-made raisins for 1 hostage cupcakes. Done. Then came Garbage Pail Kids, the beautiful abominations of the trading card world. They were disgusting, hilarious, and sometimes legitimately traumatizing. Your parents hated them. Teachers banned them, which of course made them 10 times cooler. Sticker trading wasn't just a hobby, it was currency. You'd have alliances, rivalries, and rules. No takebacks unless it's glitter. You didn't mess around in the sticker economy. Used playground equipment that would be banned today. Yes, the 70s playground. Equal parts fun and American Gladiator's obstacle course. It wasn't a playground unless the equipment could physically injure you, or at least brand you with a second-degree burn. Take the metal slide, for example. It absorbed sunlight like a solar panel and doubled as a frying pan in July. You'd sit down, sizzle, and shoot off the end like a human torpedo into the dirt below. Then there was the merry-go-round, aka the centrifugal death wheel. One kid would spin it as fast as humanly possible while the rest of us clung to the bars, our little legs flying out like we were auditioning for NASA's G-Force simulator. And let's not forget the tall steel monkey bars on solid asphalt. No padding, no rubber mulch, just good old concrete, ready to knock your teeth out if you missed a rung. We didn't call it risk, we called it recess. Sat in the way back of the station wagon, with no seatbelt. Before SUVs took over the world, the family chariot was a big old station wagon, preferably wood-paneled, of course. And the best seat in the house? The way back. You didn't sit in it so much as lounge, lie down, roll around, or wedge yourself into whatever position kept you from flying across it when Dad took a sharp turn. Facing backward, you'd make faces at the cars behind you, hold up signs that said, "Help," just to freak out strangers, or play wave chicken with whoever was brave enough to lock eyes with a grown-up driver. Seatbelts? Nah, you were rolling around like loose cargo. And there was always that one cousin who definitely got carsick back there and ruined everyone's good time. Still, no road trip felt official until someone yelled, "Mom, he's breathing on me." If this trip down memory lane brought back some feelings, stick around. Hit that subscribe button for more stories, nostalgia, and a few laughs from a time when fun was analog and childhood was a little more unfiltered.